The rich, dark aroma of freshly roasted coffee beans permeated the air inside the Santa Cruz Coffee Roasting Company, a comforting blanket against the gentle hum of conversation and the clinking of mugs. Eclectic Scout, his face etched with the maps of countless journeys, pushed open the door, the familiar weight of his leather satchel a comforting presence. His gaze swept across the cozy space, and a broad smile illuminated his features as he spotted Tara Singh by the window, a plume of steam rising from his mug. Tara. Scout's voice resonated through the cafe, a joyful sound cutting through the ambient noise. Tara looked up, his own smile mirroring Scout's warmth. Scout. Welcome back, my friend. He rose quickly, and the two men embraced in a long, heartfelt hug, a testament to their enduring connection. Good to have you back in Santa Cruz, brother, Tara said, stepping back, his eyes crinkling with genuine pleasure. Looks like the world has been sharing its secrets with you again. Indeed it has, my friend, Scout replied, his eyes taking in the familiar surroundings. This place still smells like the best kind of awakening. Just then, Luna, her vibrant purple hair a striking contrast to her silver-ringed fingers, strolled past their table, a mischievous glint in her eye. Unbeknownst to them, she had paused near the magazine rack, subtly angling herself to overhear their conversation. Tara! Scout! Always a pleasure seeing you both, she called out with a cheerful wave. Hey, Luna! Tara responded, lifting his mug in greeting. Scout offered a warm nod and a smile. Luna continued towards the counter, but her ears remained subtly attuned to their voices. Once settled, the initial small talk flowed easily. Updates on the local surf, musings on the recent meteor shower, the quiet beauty of the changing light in the redwood forests. Then, Scout leaned forward, his usual lightheartedness replaced by a thoughtful intensity. My God, buddy, you can't even imagine the revelations I've stumbled upon during this last adventure. Tara nodded patiently, taking a slow, contemplative sip of his coffee. Yet, Scout, it often seems that no matter how far we roam or what new paths we explore, we are invariably drawn back to the fundamental truths. Wouldn't you agree? A concept that resonates deeply within the Sikh tradition, the path I strive to follow. Scout's eyes sparkled with recognition. Precisely. That core understanding of Ik Onkar. One God. Monotheistic. Believing in one supreme, formless, and eternal God who is the creator and sustainer of the universe. He leaned in conspiratorially, his voice dropping to a near whisper. Dude, even modern scientists are increasingly pointing towards this interconnectedness, this unified field of energy. And if there's some kind of animating consciousness, some divine energy pulsating through everything. Tara's expression softened, his gaze holding a profound understanding. For me, Scout, that aligns perfectly with the wisdom of Waheguru's teachings. We reside within God's very being, and the potential for goodness, for that divine spark, resides within each of our hearts. Embracing this belief makes it so much easier to attune ourselves to that still, small voice, the inner compass that offers guidance and strength each day. He paused, his eyes reflecting a deep conviction. In a sense, we are the eyes through which the divine experiences its own creation. Scout nodded, absorbing his words. I know how deeply you honor the path and the teachings of Waheguru. Tara's thoughts unfolded, a quiet reverence coloring his inner world. Waheguru, the wondrous guru. The teachings are a constant reminder of the seamless web of existence, to perceive the sacred in every soul, to dedicate oneself to selfless service, to relentlessly pursue truth and justice. It's a holistic way of life, where devotion isn't confined to ritual but permeates every action, every interaction. The ego is the great illusion, the veil that obscures our understanding of this inherent oneness. Humility, compassion, and unwavering remembrance are the keys to peeling back that veil. Scout broke the contemplative silence. Brother, I wanted to share something personal with you. Every time we part ways, there's this sense of unfinished conversation. You often use the word blessings as a farewell, and I wanted you to know that I've adopted that into my own lexicon. Whenever I say goodbye or sign off, more often than not, I find myself saying blessings. It's a direct echo of what you've shared with me. A genuine warmth spread across Tara's face, a deep connection resonating between them. That is truly beautiful to hear, Scout. Time seemed to slow, punctuated only by the gentle sounds of the cafe and the unspoken understanding between the two men. Luna, now seemingly engrossed in a magazine near the counter, had absorbed every word, her own thoughts swirling with the implications of their conversation. Eventually, a comfortable sense of closure settled between them. Well, my friend, Scout said, rising, extending his hand. This has been profound. As always, Tara stood as well, clasping Scout's hand firmly. The connection we share is a gift, Scout. Until our paths cross again. In a moment of quiet synchronicity, as they prepared to part, Scout offered, Blessings, Tara. And Tahara replied, his voice filled with heartfelt sincerity. And blessings to you, my dear friend, Scout. As Scout walked towards the door, Luna lowered her magazine, a soft smile playing on her lips. The oneness of the universe. It's not just a philosophical concept, is it? It's in the way Tahara speaks of Waheguru, the way Scout absorbs his words, the way their friendship radiates such a deep understanding. It's in the interconnectedness they were just discussing, the energy that binds everything. And how lovely it is to witness that little piece of that grand tapestry unfolding right here, in our little coffee shop, every time those two souls find their way back to each other. She watched Scout disappear through the door, then turned her gaze back to Tahara, a quiet sense of joy filling her heart at the simple beauty of their connection. The familiar aroma of roasted coffee beans swirled through the Santa Cruz Coffee Roasting Company, a comforting and grounding scent that always seemed to welcome Tahara. Today, the gentle whir of the grinder and the low murmur of conversations created a familiar, comforting soundscape. Tahara, his bright blue turban a vibrant splash of color against the warm tones of the cafe, had felt a strong pull to return. He knew, with a certainty born of their shared history, that he would find Eclectic Scout holding court amidst the comforting chaos. This coffee shop was their sanctuary, the stage for their ongoing explorations of the divine and the cosmos, often drawing in other curious souls. And indeed, there he was. Eclectic Scout, his energy a palpable buzz, was engaged in animated conversation with his old friend Sid and a newer acquaintance, Luna. Luna today wore a flowing, emerald-green dress that complemented the silver threads woven through her vibrant purple hair, giving her an almost mystical air. "Hey, good to see you, Scout," Tahara called out, his voice warm and welcoming. Scout's head swiveled, his face lighting up with immediate recognition. He bounded to his feet, engulfing Tahara in a bear hug. "Buddy, after that deep-diving conversation we had yesterday, I had to come back here, hoping to find you again. I felt like you had more on your mind yesterday. But we really didn't have enough time for you to finish sharing what was on your heart." Eclectic Scout chimed in, his enthusiasm bubbling. "You're right on both counts, my friend. On my mind and, even more so, on my heart. The main point of what I wanted to share with you is that many of those profound spiritual concepts we've talked about in the past, yes, they were in my head, intellectually understood. I loved all the concepts and teachings, but I hadn't really, truly started applying them to the messy, beautiful reality of my own life." He leaned forward, his eyes shining with newfound understanding. "Now I have, and it's amazing. One of the most important ones I've learned to embrace is accepting the inherent duality of existence." "Brother, this seems so fundamental. I've found it to be incredibly powerful when navigating some of the inevitable pains of life, to be able to still respond with genuine gratitude in my heart for my life. And when that shift happens, it's like receiving the full blessing, to the point of tears, grateful tears." Sid, his usual quiet demeanor even more still, and Luna were both leaning forward, their attention completely captured. The gentle hiss of the espresso machine and the clatter of a dropped spoon in the background faded into insignificance. Luna spoke up, her voice carrying a note of vulnerability. "I've been having to deal with a lot of pain this year, and what you're saying really resonates with me." Scout turned to her, his expression filled with empathy and conviction. "It really does work for me, Luna, or I wouldn't speak of it with such certainty. You should try it for yourself. It's truly transformative. When your heart is filled with gratitude, true, deep gratitude, it can help us navigate through anything." Tahara nodded emphatically. "Yes, what Scout is articulating is a profound truth. You ought to explore it, Luna." At that very moment, a subtle shift occurred in the atmosphere. Sid, who had been silently absorbing the conversation, developed a distinct twinkle in his eyes. He didn't utter a word, but the knowing glint spoke volumes, a silent acknowledgement that resonated with everyone present. His years as a Buddhist practitioner had instilled in him a deep understanding of duality and the profound power of acceptance and gratitude in the face of life's inevitable challenges. The unspoken connection hung in the air, a testament to the universality of these ancient truths. A comfortable silence settled over their small circle, the weight of shared understanding hanging in the air. The aroma of a freshly brewed batch of dark roast filled the space, a subtle reminder of the cafe's comforting presence. Tahara placed his empty mug on the table. "Scout, thank you for sharing that so openly. It's a powerful reminder, even for those of us who have walked these paths for a while, of the transformative power of gratitude." Scout smiled, a genuine warmth radiating from his eyes. "And thank you, Tahara, for always being a grounding presence and for planting those seeds in the first place." It took a while for them to truly take root. He turned to Luna and Sid. "And thank you both for listening with such open hearts." Luna offered a soft smile. "Thank you for sharing, Scout. It's given me much to contemplate." Sid simply nodded, his eyes still holding that knowing twinkle. A natural cue seemed to arise, signaling the end of their time together. Scout stood, stretching slightly. Well, my friends, the road calls once again, but my heart feels a little lighter and a lot more full after this morning. Tara rose with him. Safe travels, brother. And may your journey be filled with light. They embraced in another warm, heartfelt hug, a silent acknowledgement of the bond that transcended time and distance. Blessings, Tara, Scout murmured as they parted. And blessings to you, my dear friend, Tara replied, his voice filled with genuine affection. Scout then turned to Luna, offering a gentle hug. Blessings to you, Luna. May you find peace and strength on your path. Thank you, Scout, she said softly, a hint of a smile gracing her lips. Blessings to you too. Finally, he clapped Sid on the shoulder, a silent understanding passing between them. Blessings, my friend. Sid offered a rare, small smile. And to you. As Eclectic Scout turned to leave, the gentle chime of the door announcing his departure, a collective feeling of warmth and connection lingered in their small corner of the bustling coffee shop. The word blessings seemed to hang in the air, a quiet benediction on their morning and the paths they each walked. The rich aroma of roasting coffee beans hung in the air of the Santa Cruz Coffee Roasting Company, a familiar and comforting embrace. Luna, her purple hair today woven with strands of shimmering silver that caught the morning light, was nursing a steaming mug when the door opened, and in walked Eclectic Scout. Luna, Scout exclaimed, his face lighting up with a warmth that suggested a lifelong friendship. Scout, Luna replied, her voice equally bright. It's so good to see you. They embraced in a hug that felt both familiar and genuinely joyful. I was hoping I'd run into you again. I wanted to learn more about all that gratitude stuff you were talking about yesterday. Scout's eyes twinkled. Of course, Luna. It's something that has truly shifted my perspective. And actually, there was something I really wanted to add to all of that yesterday, but didn't get a chance. He settled into a nearby chair, leaning forward with enthusiasm. Yes, being grateful for the sheer miracle of being here, in this incredible universe, having this life, that's foundational. But there's another layer that's become so apparent to me. He paused, choosing his words carefully. So many times, we navigate our daily problems, and often, we find ourselves sorting things out with the help of a friend, a colleague, a stranger even. And how often do we truly stop and acknowledge, with heartfelt gratitude, their contribution? Really, think about it. Someone asks, how's your day going? And we often launch into a litany of the challenges we've faced, completely overlooking the moments of support, the helping hands that guided us through. Luna nodded thoughtfully, her gaze softening. That's so true. I hadn't really considered it in that way, Scout continued, his voice earnest. Learning to be consciously grateful for those who help us, in ways big and small, every single day, is incredibly uplifting. None of us would exist in isolation. Our very being is a tapestry woven with the threads of countless others' efforts. Everything in our lives has been touched by 1,000 unseen hands. The gentle hiss of the espresso machine and the rhythmic tapping of someone working on a laptop formed a quiet backdrop to their conversation. The aroma of freshly ground beans, a comforting presence. After a while, a sense of peaceful understanding settled between them. Luna took a final sip of her coffee, a thoughtful expression on her face. Scout, thank you. That's given me a profound new way to look at things. Scout smiled warmly. The pleasure was all mine, Luna. It's always enriching to share these thoughts. He stood up, his hand reaching for his worn satchel. Well, the day beckons, but this conversation has been a wonderful start to it. Luna rose as well. It truly has. Thank you again. They embraced once more, a feeling of genuine connection passing between them. Blessings, Luna, Scout said, his voice filled with sincerity. And blessings to you, Scout, she replied, a gentle smile gracing her lips as she watched him head towards the door. The word lingered in the warm, coffee-scented air, a quiet affirmation of the beauty of connection and gratitude.
Please click like and then subscribe. Also share this video with your friends. Thank you.